So, today's episode of the Food Photography Show is talking about how you build a portfolio to get clients rather than building a portfolio of nice images. A lot of people will build and start adding to their portfolio all their best photos and think the more they've got, the better it is, everything will work really well. So, my answer to you might surprise you is that you don't need many images in your portfolio to start with. It's all about the feel of what it is that you are doing. Some photographers might have 20 photos in their portfolio to get commercial work, while others might have hundreds of photos and different subsections of this, that, and the other, and they might actually struggle to attract clients. It's not about the amount of photos that you've got, it's about how you're speaking to the client and giving them what they need. The story, what you create, is what tells the story. So, if you think about the last time you walked into, say, a beautifully designed shop, you go into some shops or a coffee shop or somewhere and you think, this is beautiful. You probably didn't notice every individual item or every individual shelf within that shop or cafe. What you probably noticed was the overall feeling that everything kind of fitted together, it belonged together, the colours worked, the lighting felt right. Then there was like a really good personality, a really good vibe running through the whole space. That's what we are creating with your portfolio. It needs to create exactly that same feeling. It isn't simply somewhere that you just put your favorite photos all a mishmash together. It's an opportunity to show clients how you see food, how you understand light, how you style a scene, what props you use, how consistent you are from one image to the next, so that you can then build the trust with the clients and you are a safe bet for them. One thing that we want to work with here is something called the golden thread, which I'm going to get into in a little bit of time. The golden thread really helps you with your consistency rather than just throwing everything into this portfolio. What we don't want is, we don't want in your portfolio a jumble of images that just go from one thing to the next and we're just thinking, whoa, who is this person? What's happening? I'm not really understanding it. They want to see a body of work for them to be able to hire you to create things. So let's have a little look at where we can take it from. I'm not saying that you need to photograph everything that's red or everything that's yellow, but what I want you to do is think of that consistency in your portfolio. Think about the colors that you are using in your imagery and ensure that that works harmoniously through the different images that you put in, so that you start to recognize the patterns that you put in that work so well with your imagery. It doesn't matter what it is that you're using, what food, what drink you're using. Pay attention to the color harmony, the color psychology, and understand how your images fit together. That may be down to the fact that you want to photograph some fillers that go into your portfolio that bind all the images together, or it might be that you already have these images, but you just need to change the order of the images in your portfolio. But most importantly is, you want someone to open up your portfolio and stroke the screen because it looks so beautiful and harmonious, and they just totally get who you are as a photographer. And also, if you're here looking to market your own business, you're wanting to get a strong brand presence. The brand is part of the color harmony, is part of the color psychology, and it's going to make your food and drink synonymous with you. Think about when you see something from Marks and Spencer's, from Fortnum and Mason's, from Harrods, from a certain restaurant that you know that's a chain. Everything fits together. It's not disjointed stuff put together. They've got a golden thread that takes them through everything that they are doing. And if you're not sure what your golden thread is, start to work with Pinterest. Upload your images and start to look at what it is that ties your images together. And then start to look at other images that you want to photograph and put together a little folder of things that you want, making sure it fits in with the brief of your portfolio. So what we need to make sure is in our portfolio is we need to make sure that we are building it for our clients to see the type of work that we're involved in, our experience that we've got already, and also to show them we are a safe pair of hands, that we can turn our hand to pretty much everything. So you may have a series of shots from one supplier or for one brand, then you might move on to another, but everything is very cohesive. As your confidence grows, you'll notice things changing. You'll stop thinking about creating one great photo. You'll start thinking about creating a body of work and looking at it commercially and thinking, what would my clients think? Would my clients want to buy this? Clients are rarely commissioning one image unless it's something massive that's going up in the wall, which is very unlikely. They're commissioning menus, campaigns, packaging, recipe books, social media content. The more your portfolio starts showing connected collections rather than isolated photographs, the easier it becomes for the client to imagine what it is that they want. And one of the hardest things to do with your portfolio is to take images out that aren't right. They may be a best photo, they may have won an award, but do they speak to the clients of what it is that you're looking to do? Your portfolio doesn't have to be your best images, your most award-winning images. It needs to be the images that people want to buy, and just making sure that you just keep delivering on that. So we have different vibes for different brands, for different ways that people work. There is no right or wrong way with the portfolio, but ask yourself, what is it that you want to photograph? What is it that you want to be known for? And what is it that you want to be hired for? And that will start to make sense of what's going to be going into your portfolio. You might not necessarily agree, like, want to do all the images that you're asked to do by a client. But if it works with their portfolio of images for their campaigns, their menus, their social media, you need to throw everything at it and give them everything that they need to be able to do that. And bearing in mind that when we look at someone's portfolio as an entirety, we can still see that golden thread. We can still see where they've shopped for certain brands, for certain people, without it overtaking the portfolio and being the main focus of one brand. The clear thing is, when someone clicks on your portfolio, it has to give the client confidence that they want you to work with them. They are already sold in that first few seconds. So give them something that they want before they click into it and decide if you are the right photographer for them. Your colors will change over time. The brands that you work with will change over time, but just keep thinking about all the images that sit together, why they sit together. Are they a strong commercial image that works to sell your imagery, not just a nice photo? You might get a lot of work from a packaging company, so you need to have packaging shots in your portfolio. You might do a lot of pack shots where you're working on a white background. They need to go into your portfolio. You are showing what you want to sell, which is the most important thing here. And when you're trying to create this portfolio and get it right and get the inspiration, it doesn't always have to be food in your Pinterest board or in your ideas. You can put together things that are really harmonizing that color, that golden thread, but it doesn't necessarily have to be food and drink. It's just what gets your creative juices going for you to be able to get your portfolio feeling like you've walked into that gorgeous cafe or that harmonious shop that you're just desperate to go into. So let's just have a look at a recap of what we have gone through. So if you are looking at your portfolio, I want you to think about the first impressions. I want you to think about when someone lands on your portfolio, what is it they're drawn to? What type of photographer do they see you're like? What kind of imagery is it showing? Is it working well together? Then you're going to look at the golden thread and decide if the look, feel and style running through all your images, not each individual image, running through all your images works well together. Thirdly, does it fit with the people that you are wanting to photograph for? If it doesn't, you need to go back to the drawing board on some of the images and show what you want to sell, show what you want to get paid for. Which brings me on to the fourth one, show the work you want. And that work then needs to lead back into 3, that it needs to be the right fit for your ideal client, which is super, super important. Thinking collections. Think about showing your photos in collections of images for different brands or for summer, winter, autumn, spring, or for savory, sweet, drinks, whatever it is, it needs to flow and not just be a mishmash. Quality over quantity. Remove things that you don't need in there. Some of your images are going to be weakening that portfolio. Have a really good, strong eye. Look at what's in there and make sure that everything you're showing is your strongest work to give faith and confidence in clients wanting to hire you. Number 7, don't just add, make sure you are culling your weakest images. Add some in. Is it too long? Which ones need to come out of your portfolio? And lastly, keep evolving. When did you last update your portfolio? Make sure you're replacing older images and putting more stronger, more current ones, more on brand, more on trend that work for your imagery. If you're not evolving and keeping your portfolio going and keeping it alive, it's going to get out of date very quickly. This is an evolving process, a working process that you are going to keep needing to every 6 months just diarize it. Look at my portfolio, like really look at your portfolio and see if it's doing the heavy lifting that you want for the clients that you want to photograph for. Don't get lazy. Don't just bung everything in there and hope for the best. Make sure that it is a body, a collection of work that harmoniously sits well together. And then the clients are walking into your virtual portfolio going, I always wanted to go in here. I love it. It's fantastic. Okay. I hope that helps. I hope that's helped you with some tips for your portfolio. If you would like more tips from me, please do subscribe below. I would love to have you as a subscriber. My episodes go out each week and I would love you to be have the little bell, be notified when that happens. So thanks very much for listening today and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you. Take care. Bye.